Welcome to 7 Shifts Academy, guided lessons for restaurant workers, owners, and operators to gain the knowledge they need to grow their businesses and succeed in their careers. 7 Shifts is the all-in-one team management platform built for restaurants. With our tools, restaurant managers can work more efficiently and improve performance, freeing up more time and energy to focus on delivering great service to their customers. Today we are going to talk about finding the right type of work schedule for your restaurant. We'll break down the types of shifts you can choose from and explain the importance of choosing the right one. So let's get started. Behind every successful restaurant is a great staff that is happy and fulfilled by their jobs. One of the keys to making sure your staff are happy is by using the right type of shift work schedule that can balance the needs of your staff with the needs of your business. Whether your staff wants steady, predictable shifts every week, a more flexible schedule, or an opportunity to pick up overtime shifts to make some extra money, listening to their needs will keep them happy and help you stay ahead of the notoriously high restaurant turnover rates. And having a consistent and content staff is essential to keeping your labor costs in check and your profit margins healthy. Creating a good shift schedule and then keeping track of everyone's hours requires a lot of planning and monitoring. A good scheduling tool will help you get there. But before you start logging hours for your employees, it's important to understand what your scheduling options are and how to select the best one for your situation. There are 7 main shift options from which restaurant managers can choose. Depending on your restaurant, you may rely heavily on one of these, or you may choose a few different options to accommodate different seasons or even different days of the week. Option number 1, the fixed shift. When your staff members work in a fixed shift situation, they can always count on getting the same shift. Morning, afternoon, or night, fixed shift staff will always work the same hours every week. This option helps the staff members count on predictable hours, which helps them schedule things like childcare and appointments. A fixed shift schedule might give your staff more stability. A possible disadvantage can be a lack of flexibility. If you have workers scheduled for hours that include a downtime in the restaurant, you're left with an idle staff that you're paying for. On the flip side, if you find yourself with a larger than usual reservation or event, it may be difficult to staff up at the last minute. Option number 2, the rotating shift. In a rotating shift, staff members switch shifts, generally on a set schedule. Wait staff on a rotating shift will switch between breakfast, lunch, and dinner shifts week to week or month to month. Rotating shifts are especially popular with operations that need 24/7 shift coverage. There are 3 major types of rotating shifts: the DuPont shift schedule, the Pitman shift schedule, and the 2-2-3 schedule. Each involves a certain number of on and off days and usually include 1 week per month where you work more than 40 hours. Workers usually have 3 to 7 days off per month as well. Rotating shifts work great for restaurants that are open 24/7. They allow managers to spread out hours evenly among workers. Late night, early morning, and weekend shifts are rotated throughout the entire staff over a period of weeks. The main difficulty with this type of shift is that the varying hours can be hard for workers to adjust to, especially if they're moving between day and night shifts. Workers might have sleep issues as a result. If you decide to try a rotating schedule, you may want to give your employees tips to manage their new sleep routine. Option number 3, the split shift. When your staff work 2 different shifts on the same day, they're working a split shift. Keep in mind that the shifts must be separated by more than a regular break period. So, your hostess might work the breakfast and dinner shift, or your bartender might do the lunch and late night shifts. Be aware that there are state and local laws concerning split shifts. For example, California requires a split shift premium if workers are scheduled for 2 shifts in one day. Check with your state and local government to make sure you're abiding by the law before scheduling. This type of shift helps restaurant managers pare down staff during slower hours. Staff members won't be sitting around idle waiting for the restaurant to pick up, and managers save money. Split shifts can be used to help workers who need to pick up kids, go to class, or take care of other personal business during the day as well. Keep in mind that some workers won't like having to come back to work the same day, which can double commuting time and cost. For managers, you may have to pay more money in wages for split shifts. Number 4, the swing shift. Swing shifts straddle the dinner shift and usually go until closing time. Swing shift workers generally work from late afternoon, when crowds might be light for your restaurant, through dinner and then into the late evening hours. With swing shifts, you can bring in new, rested staff to help cover the dinner crowd and then stay on to keep things running through close. Employees who have daytime commitments like class or another job will have their days free. The disadvantage of it is that swing shift workers may not appreciate working while friends and family are leaving work, and it may not work for parents who have to pick up kids from school. And you must be careful not to overstaff if the hours between dinner and closing tend to be quieter in the restaurant. Option number 5, the on-call shift. This type of shift is exactly what it sounds like. Staff members are on call to cover a certain shift should the need arise. Workers generally call in a few hours before their shift to see if they're needed. This type of shift is most useful for staffing slow periods. Workers will come in only if they are truly needed. If you have a larger than expected crowd during a usually slow time, you can call in more hands as needed. With this shift type, shifts won't be overstaffed. Employees won't come in when they're not needed, and you'll save money on wages. One big disadvantage of this type of shift is that being on call makes it difficult for employees to manage their personal lives. Parents who have to schedule childcare, for example, will find it difficult on such an unpredictable schedule. Employees who count on a steady paycheck will also find on-call scheduling difficult. Option number 6, the overtime shift. An overtime shift covers hours worked beyond a typical shift. Keep in mind that the Fair Labor Standards Act mandates that all covered non-exempt employees receive time and a half for any hours worked beyond the standard 40 hours per week. Overtime laws can vary state by state as well. It's best to check with the Department of Labor to determine when overtime shifts are appropriate. Overtime shifts give your staff the opportunity to earn some extra money from time to time. If they're available to work, they can help cover an unexpectedly busy shift in a pinch. Keep in mind that overtime shifts will cost the restaurant more money, so use these sparingly to avoid overspending on your labor budget. Option number 7, the no schedule shift. No schedule shifts are actually scheduled. It's just done on an ad hoc basis. Restaurant managers schedule staff to work as needed without any regularity. A waiter might get 2 lunch shifts and 2 swing shifts one week and something completely different the next. This kind of scheduling is usually done on a weekly basis. Managers post schedules ahead of time, and it's the responsibility of the staff to take note of their hours for the week. A no-shift schedule gives managers the ultimate flexibility. They can schedule staff as needed and change the schedule from week to week. Managers can also make sure vacations and sick time are covered as they come up. As with on-call shifts, staff may find it difficult to work with a schedule that changes every week. And don't forget to follow the laws in your city or state pertaining to shift work. After learning about so many shift types, you may wonder why so many types of shifts and how do I choose the right one for my restaurant? As you see, each shift option affords different opportunities and challenges for both managers and staff. Finding the right option that works for everyone is a delicate balance. It takes thought, research, and even some trial and error to determine which shift is a good fit. You need a scheduling solution that covers all shifts and keeps costs down, while your staff needs some stability and predictability in their hours and their pay. Experts recommend scheduling staff against expected sales, but don't leave it until the last minute. Instead, choose the kind of shift that best matches the ebbs and flows of your restaurant's needs. Recently, the use of no schedule and on-call shifts has become a hot topic in every industry that typically uses them because they can place an undue burden on staff. Employees who have more than one job, children to look after, or classes to attend find the unpredictability of these two types of scheduling difficult to impossible to navigate. Restaurants that rely on on-call or no-schedule shifts may find it difficult to attract quality staff. In fact, several cities and states have taken up measures to protect workers from unpredictable schedules. According to the Society for Human Resource Management, San Francisco was the first to mandate staff scheduling with the Retail Workers' Bill of Rights in 2014. Businesses that don't give employees adequate notice of their schedules face penalties, and hourly workers get predictability pay for last-minute schedule changes. Seattle and New York City have followed suit, and in 2018, Oregon became the first state to mandate on-call shift scheduling. Employers of 500 workers must post schedules a week in advance, and in 2021, that will extend to 2 weeks. That said, in a 7 shifts survey, 64% of restaurant staff enjoyed a flexible schedule. Many restaurant employees are students or have other commitments that require a non-traditional work schedule. The balance then is to create a flexible work schedule that works for your bottom line and then give workers plenty of notice about their shifts. Figuring out the ideal shift schedule for your restaurant is a delicate balance that requires thought, planning, feedback from staff, and tweaking. Once you choose a shift schedule you think will work, don't consider it set in stone. Listen to your employees, look at your labor cost ratio, and then adjust as you need to. And don't do it alone. Find the right scheduling tool to help you keep everyone on track and your restaurant running smoothly. A good scheduling tool like 7 Shifts will help you schedule shifts automatically based on worker availability and shift needs. You can even use custom shift templates. You can also analyze your labor costs to see where you can improve efficiency and adjust shifts. Thank you for watching. To receive updates on new videos, please subscribe to 7 Shifts YouTube channel and check out 7 Shifts Academy. And don't forget to check the video description for links to other useful resources.